Good morning. Hello. Hey, I am back. I am doing well. I am back. And if you didn't know, I have been sick for close to a month now. Yeah, this thing got me bad. Wow. Happy April 3rd. It's hump day and you are listening to Ask Zena Radio. Thank you so very much for tuning in and listening to us on the Good News radio station. You can also check out our many other shows. Hey, check out some of those shows that we have all week long. Just go to the website, the Good News radio station, and do some scrolling around. I said scrolling. Good morning. Good morning. I am so excited. Hey, I want to give a disclaimer. If I cough or anything like that, just know that I'm like 70% there. I'm not totally healed, but I am feeling good. I am feeling good. So, wow. I let me take a step back. I went to work. I had some aches and pains and felt a little chills, and then all of a sudden I'm turning this down because I'm being intentional on healing you today with some good energy medicine and some good frequencies. So healing myself as well. So I went to work probably about a month ago, and on Monday felt like a little achy, sore throat, had a little bit of chills. By 3 o'clock, I was full on with 102 fever. And then where I park, I have to park about a block and a half away from the building. And by that time, I was completely achy. Every part of my body ached, even my eyes. And by the time I got home, I was just immobile. And so this thing had hit me just that quickly, and knocked me down for 2 weeks, really hard. And I should have been in the hospital. I really should have been in the hospital, but I don't do hospitals because I don't do negativity and I don't like that energy. And I like to sleep in my own bed with my own pillow. Anyway, I'm sharing my story of illness with you. This is the Ask Zena Radio Show. It actually will lead me into the topic because there's some things I want to share with you guys. I'm so transparent. You know, I'm like an open book. But thank you for tuning in to the Ask Zena Radio Show. I hope you missed me. Please give me a shout. Let me know you missed me. Some people called me and told me that they missed me and hadn't heard from me, and I'm doing better. I'm 70% better. So when this thing had knocked me out, the next day was a very important day for me in the office. One of our executives was coming in to meet with a lot of people and was coming in to meet with me specifically about an opportunity, and I could not move. So how scary is that, right? That you can't even get out of bed to go talk to someone about your future. Talk about fear, right? That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how to harness the power of your fears. We all have fears. We are all living and breathing in our fears. I don't care what people say. We have fears, and you could be the most confident person in the world. You could be the most cocky person in the world, but there is something that is going on in your life, in your mind, as an imprint that causes you to cringe, that causes you to second think what is going on in your life, that causes a pause, right? So I want to talk about that today because I've got some wonderful things to say to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me just breathe. I'm infusing you right now with some real positive energy. I'm infusing you with a frequency, a sound frequency that helps to heal unconscious blocks and fears. We're going to talk about that. Boy, I've got so much to share with you. Oh my gosh. I am laughing because my friend is like, all you do is talk. Well, when you haven't talked for a month because your throat hurt, or you were gasping for air, or you were taking breathing treatments, or you were just darn tired, I've got a lot to say. So, but I really wanted to share this with you because, hey, we are just about close to the middle of the year of 2019. And I'm hoping that you guys are getting your butts in gear to live the best life possible. I know there's crap going on in the government and, stuff in LA with shootings and killings and random stuff and, the stuff that happened at the Dodger game and, with Nipsey and all of this other stuff that is going on, right? Which just adds to the different layers of our own personal fears, right? We all are in this incarnation right now, walking on this planet with certain fears. Because if we weren't, we all would be millionaires and we would all be doing all these things. And you know what? I want to talk about that. Even if you think about the millionaires, you think about, like, let's say the Kardashians, they have their own fears. Why do you think that they go out of their way so much to Photoshop, to try to make themselves look so good? Because there's some internal stuff. I'm talking today about internal fears, right? So let me go back to my story about being sick. Tuesday, I don't even remember, it was a month ago, I was supposed to have this very, very important meeting to talk about my future in the broadcast industry. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to get out of bed. And so I am not an employee of this company. I'm a contractor. So not having that meeting left me feeling very insecure about my future. Then being a contractor, then my doctor saying, you can't go to work for a couple of weeks. And then after 2 weeks, I went to work for one day and just had another relapse. And so that was 2 weeks ago. And I'm going to try to go to work this week. I'm going to try to go to work for a little while. But I was pretty bad off. And I'm single. I am in my apartment. And my children live in different states. I have some family here, but not really close to them. And then I have family that, knew I was sick and didn't even check on me. But that's cool. I mean, everyone has their life. I am not angry, not bitter. Trust me. So as I'm laying in this bed, just barely able to get up to go, get orange juice, and really scared, like all of my fears started to come in, and I started to actually have nightmares. I mean, I never have nightmares. I have really, really, really great dreams. But I started to have really freaky nightmares about people coming to attack me, coming to try to shoot me. Even they were family members. It was so. I found myself sitting up in the middle of the night, like scared to go to sleep. First of all, I had a respiratory infection and there was so much congestion that I was like, I could have drowned in my own phlegm. Like, it was just that bad. And I'm not telling you this to feel sorry for me or, oh my gosh, Zena, whatever. Look, I am strong. I am resilient. I am sharing this story with you because I really want you to understand how fears can cripple us in any situation. So I am sitting up in bed trying to sleep, gurgling with this chest congestion and having these nightmares, like literally full on nightmares where I'm like, oh my gosh. I have a little statue in my living room near a fountain. I have a fountain in my living room as well. And I literally put this statue by the door This is how freaked out I was. Seriously. I don't know if it was delirious or the medication, but I put the statue by the door because I thought, well, I'll hear if anyone comes in my apartment. I'll hear the statue fall. Look, y'all, I'm being very transparent with you about what happened the last month. Yeah. I mean, I was freaked out. I was going through something. And I remember waking up at different times, and I remember telling myself, because I have to speak life to myself every single day. I don't know if you've listened to any of my other episodes, but it gives you a glimpse of the life that I had as a child and some of the adversities that I had, which I am the person that I am today as a result of that, and so grateful, so grateful. And I'll even tell you, even with this illness, I woke up and I posted one day how grateful I am for the knocking down of my life so that I could turn it around. And I didn't know what turnaround meant. I still don't really know what turnaround means, but I knew that I was not being knocked down to be taken out of the game. At the point that I became sick, I was doing this podcast. My numbers were really great. I was having conversations with other studios about a television opportunity. Someone presented an opportunity for me to speak in San Francisco. There were a lot of things going on. So you have to understand, my planet came to a sudden stop. And that frightened me because I'm an overachiever, an overdoer, an overworker. I have to live by my calendar. I have to work by my calendar. I have to move by my calendar. And I fill my calendar with time, even meditation time, even personal time. So God wanted to say, hold on, sister. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. And you need to regroup and get focused. And that's what I think happened with this illness for me. I needed to stop, get grounded, and get refocused. And how grateful and thankful I am for that. But it was frightening, and it was scary, and it had me look at myself naked, literally, in a mirror, and really deal with some fears, because life was moving so fast that I was on the brink of something really, really big. Now, I'm not saying those opportunities still don't exist, because what I do believe is that something that is mine, that has been destined for me, that the universe has already signed my name to it, you can't take that away from me. And I posted this the other day. I posted this yesterday. It says, so I'm going to drop a couple of bad words here. So if you don't like it, don't listen, go away. Sorry. Anyway, it says, you can't fuck up anything that is meant for you, meaning me. So stop being so scared, ego, fear, and embrace the unknown of what will happen. Trust your intuition. Let your heart and soul guide you on this journey. I promise you can't mess up anything that is truly meant to be. And I posted that yesterday, posted a couple of other things on social media. And a girlfriend of mine called me from New Jersey, actually reached out, and I called her. And she said, is something going on with you emotionally? Is everything okay? And so know something about Zena Contreras. When I post, I'm not posting that to get your attention. I am posting stuff to speak life to myself. So that post was for me to get my butt in gear and to know that I can't mess up anything, because what is mine is mine. See, what I believe is that I signed a contract before the incarnation of my existence, before my birth. Hey, did I ever tell you guys I was born on the Harbor Freeway? Yes, remind me to tell you that story. Zena was born on the Harbor Freeway. Came out, I don't know. Maybe it's Martin Luther King Boulevard now. I don't know. I don't remember what the name of the street is. Yeah, truly, that's a true story. Anyway, I digress. So you can't mess up anything that's yours. But going back to this contract, each one of us signed a contract at the point that we came into this manifestation. And we signed a contract for all the goodness that there is, to live the best life possible. But here's what happens. Human existence happens, and we fall off the path a little bit. We get derailed, and we take a different journey. We use a different vehicle. We allow the ego and the fears to move us out of the direction, to second guess what is really in front of us. So let me get back to this, because this is really important. I know, hey, if you've listened to the Ask Zena show before, you know that I do this conversational dance, and you just have to cha-cha with me to be part of the end result. Because trust me, there is an end result. Trust me, you will learn something, and I will infuse, inspire, and motivate you some sort of way. And hey, if I don't, reach out to me, email me, say, what the hell are you talking about? I dare you. Coach.AskZena at gmail. If I ramble and it doesn't make any sense, say, you know what? Get another job. Get off the radio. Woman, you don't make sense to me. But here's my passion, and here's my life, and I'm very transparent with my life, is I am on this journey because I've had all that adversity, because I've had all those things happen to me, to pave the way, to share my experiences so that you don't have to have that stuff, so that you can recognize what your triggers are, so that you can recognize whatever these behaviors or pathologies are, so that you can live the best life possible. Hey, I don't care if you live a better life than me. I am not jealous. I am not jealous. Not at all. Do it, and do the damn thing, and do it really, really well, right? Again, I am going to swear today. So if you cannot handle that, then you need to exit out. But thank you so very much for tuning in to the Ask Zena Radio Show on the Good News radio station. I want to share something else that I posted, and this was really profound for me. And then it all ties into this fear, and I'm going to get into that a little bit more. We're going to spend an hour today together, and I hope you'll share this with someone, and I hope that that this will be meaningful. So today is about harnessing the power of your fears, because there is power in your fears. So yesterday I also posted, if you could rid the world of one thing, what would it be? And I got comments like Satan and Donald Trump and, this and illness and fear and hate and judgment and all of this stuff. And I want to tell you that there are only two emotions. There are only two. Both extremely powerful. Both extremely dangerous. Yeah, dangerous. So there are only two emotions that we have. Yet these emotions have, think of it like the root of a tree, right? There's so many different roots that come out of these two emotions. We have love, and yes, I did say dangerous. So I'll get back to that. And we have hate. That's all we have. We have love and we have hate. And everything is a derivative of love or hate. Everything. So when we say anger, when we say sadness, when we say loneliness, when we say, discrimination, judgment, all of these things, the betrayal and all of that, that comes from hate, which is fear. So if you were to draw this out, you have love in one bubble, and then you have hate. And then right underneath hate is fear. And then right underneath fear is all of these other lines that go to all of this other stuff. Hate and fear, they're like twins, really. Love. And so why did I say love is dangerous? Because if we don't love from an unconditional, heart-centered space, we can have the illusion of love. And so the illusion of love is what is dangerous. We'll have to do that on another show, but it took me like 47 years to understand unconditional love, and truly unconditional love, because there's some conditions that I wanted to put on some loving relationships that would not have been good anyway. I'm laughing now because I can, and I'm not attached to, he did me wrong, that shouldn't have happened that way, he cheated, he didn't appreciate me. I'm not attached to that. I can say all of those things about people and still say I love them unconditionally, because I believe that people were brought into our life for a reason. So it is hump day, y'all, and I am infusing you with some serious positive energy and removing the blocks. So one of the things that I have going on in the background is I have 432 hertz, and it's HZ. It's a frequency that will unconsciously unlock blockages and remove fears. And so if you haven't heard of hertz, you need to look it up. It's frequency. So it's sound frequency. And there's a lot of things that are going on with sound frequency. A matter of fact, there is a gentleman that I just posted the other day, a scientist, who has found the cure for cancer through sound frequency. I have sound frequency playing in my house 24 hours a day. I have a little whole tones unit that plays all of these frequencies, looping them 24 hours a day. And I just really believe in constantly infusing myself with as much positivity and good energy as I possibly can. I can think of maybe 2 handfuls of people that have ever been to my house since I've lived in LA, because I don't allow that energy in my space. Like your home, your bedroom is your sanctuary, so protect it. Don't let just willy-nilly ragamuffins come all up in your space and deposit their negative energy. That's your kingdom. That's your space. And so I am very protective of my space. You've heard me say I have a fountain, I have some statues, I have candles always burning, but I also have the infusion of sound frequency in my place. So today, we're doing this dance and we're talking about harnessing fears and the power of fear. And one of the ways that I do that is through sound frequency and also through water. That fountain in my living room is intentional. It's intentional to bring opportunity and energy and purifying that space in my environment. So we're going to talk about understanding your fears, what triggers your fears, but then also how to harness that. And so one way is the sound frequency. And so if you go to, today I'll post on my Instagram, but it's on my Facebook under AskZena. There are 10 frequencies for meditation to amplify your experience. 174 hertz removes pain. 285 hertz influences the energy fields. 396 hertz liberates you of fear and guilt, helping you remove that crap, right? That 417 facilitates change. 432 helps to remove the blockages. It's a miracle tone. It's a natural tone that happens in the universe. So, like I am speaking to you today through a podcast, I'm speaking through a frequency. You are hearing me on the other end, wherever you're at, through a frequency. And these sound frequencies are also in the universe, in our environment. They're in music all the time. 528 repairs the DNA. 639 heals relationships. 741 awakens the intuition. So if you're someone who, Keith, this is you. If you're someone who is on a higher spiritual plane, on a quest, you definitely want to listen to 741 to help develop that spiritual development and intuition, and also awaken who you are, at the core of who you are. 852 attracts a soul tribe, and 963 connects you with the higher light and your spirit and source. And so take a look at that. I will post that on my Instagram and post it on Facebook so that you can see that. But, as we start to look at the fears, because we all have them, like, right? Everyone has them. Supermodels have them. Athletes have them. They have a fear of something. I don't care if they walk around looking very confident. Mr. Orange, he has a lot of fears. He may be arrogant. He may be cocky, but that dude has a lot of fears. And I'm going to tell you why you can recognize he has a lot of fears. Because most people who are very, very insecure, who have a lot of fears, act out like crazy. They just act like fools. And, I did an episode on real colors, and Mr. Orange literally is orange. So if you go back and you look at the real colors, or you want to know more information, just reach out to me at Coach.AskZena@gmail. But there are 4 predominant colors once you do this test, and you're operating in those different colors. And orange actually, for Mr. Orange actually behaves that way. They behave based upon their ego, good or bad. They just behave that way. And so they're boisterous, they're outgoing, they're disruptive, they're chaotic, they're always late. They're doing things based upon their agendas. A lot of narcissistic people are orange. When I was going through becoming a facilitator of Real Colors, realcolors.org, always giving people a shout out. What it said was that 75% of the people in prison are orange because they do not know how to operate within boundaries. So they resist authority, they resist boundaries, they resist a way of life because it's all about them and how they're going to do things. So anyway, check out, I'll have to figure out what episode that was, but look up on the Good News radio station, and you could look up when I was talking about real colors to learn about that a little bit. I want to talk about what fear does. Fear causes bitterness and resentment and discomfort, us feeling uncomfortable about our person. I'm only talking about us as a person. I'm not talking about how people make us feel. I want you to get comfortable with what you're feeling. Whether you think it's good or bad, you need to get comfortable with who you are and what you're feeling before you can start blame shaming game about he made me feel this way, it didn't feel this way, whatever. So I have decided to be the change in all of my relationships. If I want a loving relationship, if I want respect, if I want people to appreciate me, if I want people to value me, then I have to exude those behaviors, those characteristics. I can't just say to someone, why don't you appreciate me? Why don't you respect me? Why don't you do this? I'm not in control of what people do, say, or how they feel. I'm only in control of my space. And so if I want that from others, I have to be that change. And I know that sounds crazy because some women will be like, but he didn't do this, or it's not happening, or my job, or this or that. You have to be the change, because when you talk about other people's behavior, all you're doing is fueling that in the universe to draw more of it to you. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But anyway, so fears cause anger, disappointment, guilt, shame, anxiety, and sadness. And I also, at one point, I really want to have a live audience where you guys do this quiz. And so if you're interested in participating with me in the studio live, we could do it anonymously, but I have a quiz that I have people take in my life coaching classes and assessment and practice. And I will show you how each one of these will bring disease into your life. And I will show you where you are in that process. So this assessment is really, really powerful, and it really shows that how your emotions and these blockages that are subconscious or conscious as a result of the fear of you not harnessing the power of the fear, but living and residing in that fear, building a foundation in that fear, are actually manifesting illness in your body. So one day we'll have to do that. If I have a lot of people request that, then I'm more than happy to give that away, and we can do that in the studio, and we can talk about that. So you can always reach out to me on any of the social media platforms. But fear is the number one handicap. So while I was in bed sick, couldn't even breathe, couldn't walk downstairs without getting winded. Had to have my inhaler in my hand all the time. Did not talk to people. The reason why I didn't talk to people, so if you didn't get any return phone calls or you didn't hear back from me during that time that I was sick, is because I didn't want to run the risk. Now, this is really sad. I didn't want to run the risk that you would make me laugh, because I didn't have enough wind in my lungs to laugh. And laughter is very important to me, and I make people laugh and they make me laugh. But isn't that really, really sad and frightening that my illness took laughter away? So there are people I would text them back and I would say, I'm resting, I can't talk, because I did not and could not laugh. I just didn't have it in me. And I'm not saying I was on my deathbed, you guys. I'm just telling you how I'm a very reflective person, and this illness made me reflect in all areas of my life. And so the fear of laughter, the fear of not getting my breath, the fear of being winded handicapped me during those 4 weeks not to have relationships with people, not to interact with people. And so God truly had an opportunity to really sit mind to mind with me, heart to heart with me, and get me into a place and space that I need to be aware of. So my illness, again, I say I'm grateful and thankful, but I'm sharing with you the fears, and I'm sharing with you that I had to muster the courage each day to do something different, to get out of my own way, because my stinking thinking made things worse. My stinking thinking had me lay in the bed for over 14 hours. Not even get up and get water. Now that's not good and that's not healthy. That's what my stinking thinking did. And so your stinking thinking may keep you in isolation. Your stinking thinking may keep you out of relationships, might keep you out of job opportunities, might keep you from driving your car someplace, from interacting with your children, from having a great intimate relationship with a partner, having relationships with your parents, having relationships with other people, engaging in life, going outside of your community, experiencing nature. Your stinking thinking may do that, because I hear this from men. Well, when I get that money, I'm going to be able to do this and I'm going to be able to do that. That's stinking thinking. Because really, if you took one step a day, opportunities would come your way. And so the fear is like concrete, right? And it just encapsulates us in this space that we're in, and we're not able to move. And the more we add our fears, the more we fear, the more we add different fears, the more that concrete becomes heavier and thicker and becomes more solid. And so Reverend Michael said, potential is always bigger than your problem. And so whenever there's a fear, there's a problem. There's a problem, because we weren't born with fears. We weren't born to be fearing anything. And so people, this is very true. I hear so many people talk about, I see postings, I'm going to win money and I'm going to live this life and I'm going to do that. Well, I don't know who you're posting it for if you don't believe it. If you and this is the other thing. Okay, let me just have my rant, because I should have had this rant earlier. Lord, let me just tell you, do not, you Christian folks, or you believer folks, or you people who are not believers, or you hopeful people, yes, the voice did go up a little bit. Don't send me them damn chains. If you think that by sending me a chain to say, I need to send something out in the next 20 seconds and you're going to manifest wealth, or you're going to manifest the love of your life, or you know what? Take your non-believing bleep and go somewhere. Yeah, I should have said, take your non-believing ass and go somewhere. Today I decided I'm real, I'm raw. I just have to be this way. I just have to get it out. I am so tired of the stupid ass chains that people send to me. What the hell are you thinking? Do you think that little of yourself? Or do you think that little of God? Or do you think that little of the universe, that you got to wait for me to send some BS to somebody, to send it to 20 people in 20 seconds for you to get your shit? What do you think that's going to happen? You think it's just going to drop down the man on a white horse, the Lexus, the house, the lottery? I mean, come on. Anyway, you can see I'm a little passionate about that. But that just drives me crazy, because what that really tells me is you have no fear. You have no faith. You're living in fear. You're settling for residing in your brokenness. You're happy where you're at. And so that just makes me think that people pursue their pains and reside in their pains more than they will pursue their pleasures. Okay. I had to get there. I'm just like, I'm so passionate about wanting the best life possible for everyone. Like, I don't even know you, but I'm talking to you. I want you to have the best life. I want you to get out of that stinking crap. I was trying to say something else, but I didn't. I really do. And so people pursue and reside in their pains rather than taking one action a day to pursue the pleasures of life. I know. I've been there. Look, I've been there where I thought my weight, people were looking at my weight. I've been so crazy that I let my weight keep me from going to the damn gym. I was too fat to go to the gym, needed to go to the gym where the gym would have helped me, but because I was thinking people were looking at me, I didn't go. So guess what I did? Numb my fat self in front of the television. Isn't that crazy? Wishing and hoping, looking for a diet pill that will work. Come on now. I'm being real with you guys. If you're driving a jalopy of a car, stop posting that damn Lexus. Because it ain't going to happen unless you get out that door and do something to create the funds to make it happen to do that. If you want better credit, write some pull your credit report, write some letters. Okay? I know a woman right now who had like horrible credit. She spent the last year writing the letters, challenging those credit bureaus, cleaning up her credit. She now, a year later, has purchased a home. And she's retired. I think she's 60. Seriously. We got to get out of these fears. So I'm sorry I'm being really passionate, but because I live with this for the last month in my own fears and having to pull myself up every single day to get motivated to stay in the game, because I was so close. I was so close before I was taken ill. I was so close. I can't even begin to tell you how close I was. There were people coming to me saying this is going to happen. And everything stopped. And so my posting that crazy stuff and dropping the F-bombs and all of that, that was to me. That was to me to get out of my own way. Because I'm not in my way anymore. I've learned this lesson. Look, it's time to make some stuff happen. I cannot be in my way anymore, having these experiences and just existing. Just existing is not a good thing. So I posted this for myself, and I'm dropping another F-bomb, so okay. Don't fuck with my feelings just because you're insecure about your own, right? And that was to me. That was to Zena saying, stop messing with your feelings because I know you're insecure about your success. I do all this crazy monkey chatter in my own mind. So get clear. Be really, really honest with yourself about your fears. Get really, really clear. I'm going to share how you can find out about the fears and your triggers real quick. And then we can do another session on this. We can talk about this again. But when people are broken, they tend to want to look at other people and their faults. And I hope you don't think that I'm like pointing something out about you guys. I'm talking, when Zena Contreras talks, she talks about herself. Like, I am fully accountable with my own crap. But I'm just here to share. But so that's not talking about you. When people are insecure and they're not dealing with their own fears and they're clouded with fears, they tend to deflect and talk about other people or other situations. And they come across very selfishly, or they come across non-compassion. They come across arrogant. They come across aloof, whatever that might be. Hell, that's why we got reality TV. Look it. Nene's blasting everybody for not being there for her, and she's not even there for her husband who's dying. Come on now. I mean, we've shifted the way television is because all we want to see is all the drama and everything else. Everybody is, biting at their nails because they want to see if Wendy Williams' husband had an affair. Hell, he had an affair and he got a baby, allegedly. So we have to say. Who cares? How many times have men had affairs and had babies out of marriage? Is it really your business? Deflect, 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 deflect. Deal with your own shit. And you can be as big as Wendy Williams in another platform. I mean, we're creating platforms all the time. We've got Instagram millionaires. We've got YouTube millionaires. We've got, podcast millionaires. We got people who don't even leave their house, who just take pictures of their food, and they're millionaires because they're getting brand endorsements and sponsorships and all this. Create the life that you want. Get out of your own way. Okay. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted because I want so much for so many people. And I've done the work. I spent 14 years in the desert working on me. And, oh, what a blessing. So, fear has a way of having concrete power. You just have to figure out whether you're going to use that concrete to build the foundation of your desire, or you're going to be stuck in it and just an observer to life because you're immobile, right? And so fear will silence you. You will not take action. You will lack persistence. You will lack clarity of thought. You will numb yourself out with social media, YouTube, television, poor relationships, lack of sex, oversex, lack of eating, lack of proper eating, overeating. You'll even numb yourself out with medical marijuana. Hey, I'm not taking digs at anyone. I'm just saying. I know people who have to smoke marijuana to get up in the morning. And if they have pain, then hey, and it makes you feel better, cool. But nothing on this planet, I know people are like, well, God created herbs. Nothing on this planet is supposed to numb you out from living the best life possible. So if it's not enhancing you, people, place, or thing, if a person in your life is not enhancing your life, making your life better, I'm not talking about things, because there's some people out there be like, well, yeah, he need to buy me something, and I need to have this. Look, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you, right? If you out there looking, being a gold digger for a man to buy you something, parents to give you something, people to embrace you, whatever, then you're not looking at you. And you got some fears that you're not dealing with. So, all of these things serve no one. They have no purpose. And once you realize that you are so amazing, you are so powerful, you are so creative, within you is the divine, within you is the power to manifest the life that you desire, within you there is greatness, within you there's potentiality, within you there's the capacity, within you there is the knowing, within you is all. Then you can move and navigate out of the space and place of fear. Excuse me. I'm not going to say that you won't live in fear and fear won't come into your life on a regular basis. But I'm telling you, you can take that and you can harness that. And here's one step that if you're scared to do something, take a breath. Take 3 steps and then revisit it. When you move out of the impact, it has to impact something else. So if I'm standing in the way, if I'm standing on the sidewalk and a car has lost control and I see it coming my way, like we feel fear coming our way. You know that gut thing that happens? We feel it coming our way. We feel the negativity. And I jump out of the way, then I've missed the impact. But I can still take a step to observe the situation. Right? You can still take a step to observe the situation of your fears. Doesn't mean you don't have to do anything about them. Just means you stay out of the way of the impact, right? Hey, I know I've done a lot today. I know I've talked a lot today. I know I've rambled on a lot today, but I had a lot to say. Thank you for being patient. Thank you for being kind. I wish peace and blessings to you all. Thank you for tuning in to the AskZena Radio Show on the Good News radio station. Give a comment below. Share this with someone if this made sense for you. Heck, if you didn't even like anything I said and you thought I rambled and you thought like, what the heck is her problem? Give a comment below. You're certainly not going to make or break my day, but I want to know what you have to say. So check us out on the Good News radio station, and peace and blessings to you. Have a wonderful day, and I want you to have an amazing week and go forward and just live the best life possible for yourself. Thank you.